Hey up, y'all. Fruity here. Now, a lot of you may not have heard the good news, but this is probably going to be the last Daniel Larson call we ever get. You heard me right, folks. Daniel Larson has been sent to a mental health facility to make him competent to stand trial. Now, I know that before a lot of times I've said this is probably going to be the last time we've heard from Daniel. He's probably not going to get another call ever. But this time, I really, really mean it. This is probably going to be the last Daniel Larson call we ever get, if any at all. I kind of wonder what Daniel's face looks like on the inside of that mental institution. Now that he's realized they're not there to, make him competent to get outside. But still, the call is kind of strange in the fact that for some reason Daniel is actually excited to go to this mental facility. Probably because it's not jail. I've heard jail can be pretty bad on a person like Daniel, and the guy has spent like 6 months there. Either way, Daniel being in this mental health facility to make him competent to stand trial, whether he actually does or doesn't, it doesn't matter because either way, the guy is getting at least some form of help. I really hope what they do is they put him on some kind of drug that, like, I've heard that that lithium works really well with schizophrenia and delusions of grandeur to make them more competent. And I really hope they put him on something like that, so that way he can become more lucid. But the fact is, he's probably not going to give up the idea of Grace Vanderwall now or ever, because it's really the only thing holding Daniel's life together. And the moment he does, and there's not any new troll around to say that, I'm Grace Vanderwall, I'm still out there, it's gonna hit him like a brick truck. So, let me just stop my yapping and we'll get on to the Daniel Larson call. Probably the final one.
How are you?
Merry Christmas. Pretty good.
Merry Christmas to you. So, I have emergency news.
Is it good or?
No. So, I am at Turkishay, Oklahoma.
Jeez.
In a stupid county jail. They moved me from the place I was at to here with no date on when I'm supposed to be moving. No information, nothing.
It makes no sense.
Discovery and the Vanderwall, and apparently the relationship. But he will not talk about anything until I'm out of jail. And he is denying contact with Bob. Bob, on the other hand, is denying contact with you, the Vanderwalls, and my father, my biological father, Travis Larson.
Of all the people to bring into a call, Daniel brings in his biological father. Someone who publicly disowned him. And I'm not sure if Daniel's aware of that, or maybe he's just forgotten, or maybe he thought it was some kind of troll. Either way, it looks like Dan's dad is back on the scene. Maybe he feels a little bad for him, kind of not being there to raise his son who has a lot of mental issues and actually try to guide him through life. Still, it's not going to help now that he's in jail on some pretty serious federal charges.
Jeez, this is a whole mess. I just don't. Why did they move you to Grady County Jail? That makes no sense. You were already in Oklahoma.
Right. And I'm less than like an hour away. Like, everything is useless. And not only that, everybody now is just denying contact with everyone whatsoever. And my legal discovery says otherwise. So there is some undercover something going on. There's contact going on they don't want me to know about.
I mean, I completely...
And I call bullshit.
No, I agree. That makes no sense. And The fact is, they're supposed to have you in Springfield by January 1st. And if they don't, you were supposed to be released. But now they're trying to do some twisted things and move you all around Oklahoma. And now you're
Right.
in.
They're trying to do some sketchy shit, and they're sketchy things, and unfortunately, I am calling manipulation.
Well, knowing what we know now, Daniel's staying in that jail until January 1st, 2025, and him being let out. It's not going to happen. Thankfully, he was transferred to that mental institution. And whether it was real or not, it doesn't matter anymore. He's in there now. And will he come out at all? Who knows? I'm betting no.
I think that they are just trying to manipulate everything at this point, and they're just trying to do sketchy stuff, just like what you're saying.
And I mean, and I kind of did a little bit of research on the jail you're in right now, and it's probably the worst one you've ever been in. I mean, just based on what I was reading online, as it's one of the worst.
It's one of the worst. Yes, that is true. There's nothing. I'm in a cell with no books, nothing to read, nothing. Literally nothing.
Yeah.
23-hour lockdown.
That's weird because 23-hour lockdown. There's even like that famous Tiger King guy is in your jail apparently. That Joe Exotic guy.
I don't even know, but yeah. Also.
So Clark brings up that Joe Exotic, the Tiger King, from that one Netflix documentary, is in Daniel's jail. And frankly, Dan doesn't give a damn about that. You don't give no... he really doesn't seem to care that he's in jail with a person who's another celebrity. Not like he knows. He probably has never been on Netflix once in his life. And this goes on for a bit until Daniel says something that to me was a little bit shocking.
Is if I'm not at Springfield, at the medical place, by the 31st, on January 1st, my case needs to get dropped.
I agree.
Because otherwise, it's going to be manipulation, and that means I can turn everything into manipulation as well, and then they really won't have a case.
No, I agree. I mean, it really doesn't make sense legally. I've even talked to some people in the legal standpoint, they don't understand. They say, if you're deemed incompetent, then why aren't you somewhere where you can become competent? You know, it doesn't make any sense. They're just keeping you in a random jail in the middle of Oklahoma and thinking you're going to get better. That makes no sense.
Right. And then also...
Now, I don't know if you heard the same thing I heard, but for some reason it seems like Daniel wants to become competent to stand trial. And he doesn't even probably know what that means, or what going to this facility will entail. This is going to be a hard time for Daniel Larson if he ever gets competent to stand trial, or if he ever doesn't. He's probably never going to see the outside world again. We aren't going to see Daniel's face ever again, probably. I could be wrong about that, but who knows? And I'm going to spare you the rest of this call, because it's just the rest of him going, yada yada, Grace Vanderwall, and complaining about the Vanderwalls. And speaking of that, that girl has to be so glad this dude is behind bars and will never, ever be able to do that creepy ass shit that he was doing to before. And the trolls and Daniel's trolls are always going to be in her comments section, you know, saying Daniel Larson quotes and all this and that. People are going to be confused. The other day I decided for the heck of it to look at one of her comments, and yeah, there's still Daniel Larson trolls there, even after he's been in jail for 6 months. But it stopped. It's done. There's no more. We don't have to worry about the streets. Daniel's never gonna see him again. And well, this was one heck of a video to end off 2024. I'll see you guys again in 2025. If you want to talk to me or just hear hear my nice little voice before 2024 ends, try my Discord server. It's linked in the description below. Also in the description is a video getting you up to speed on Daniel Larson. Not like you'll need it anyway. But either way, have a wonderful rest of your day, folks.